that there have been many instances where the harms related to real money gaming have come to light, and that's what essentially is the government's intent to crack down on the harms that are posed by these RMG or real money games. Of course, a boost will be given to esports and online social gaming as well. But ladies and gentlemen, the government's proposed blanket ban on real money gaming has surprised advertising and entertainment world equally. Dream11's 3-year sponsorship deal with the BCCI that now faces uncertainty, while major stars like Ranbir Kapoor, Amir Khan, MS Dhoni and Shubman Gill are reportedly treading cautiously, with many talent managers already asking for ads to be taken down. But with the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha passing the online gaming bill, celebrities would be facing steep penalties of up to 2 years in jail and fines of 50 lakh for endorsing such platforms. So definitely there are penal provisions as well as far as this particular bill is concerned. It's got the ratification of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha as well. And what's awaited now is a possible precedent's assent on the bill. In fact, now we are joined by Mohan Das Pai, the chairman of Areen Capital, to get his views on the bill and, of course, the overall impact that the industry is going to face. Sir, thanks very much for taking the time out and speaking to us here on ET Now. How do you view the government's efforts to create a clear legal framework that distinguishes esports and online social games versus money games? And was this distinction actually needed in the industry?
Well, look, let us understand one thing. The government has identified a very big social problem. A lot of people are playing money games and losing money. Government says these money games have become a conduit for terrorists to raise money, for washing corruption money, for black money to become white money, and all kind of funding for political parties, political activities. Possibly they have some evidence. If you go to that Mahadev app or something, you find that there is a lot of truth in what they say. So it is a very big social issue, it's a security issue, and it's an issue of concern for everybody. And so I think in a very conservative society, this has to be solved. Now, this was a long time in coming. On top of that, we have a very war activist GST, which went and bashed everybody, put in retrospective impact, court cases, all the nice things are happening. So we have this bill. Now, what does the bill do? It bans money games, right? Games of chance. It does not ban games of skill. So it's very important for industry to sit down and see how games of skill can be done with the revenue earning potential for industry. In a game of skill, can people contribute to a prize money which can be given to the winners? Because in a game of skill, prize money is important. People will pay against each other for entertainment, but they'll also play to earn a prize, right? It's like playing IPL. Why do players play IPL? Because they get money and they get an audience. They build a brand. So can you do something like an IPL here for esports and all other areas where people can play games, compete against each other? They can all contribute to a pot to win a prize, and the prize can be given to the winner in a very transparent manner. There can be sponsorship, there can be many things. It can become a visual medium for games. So I think people in the industry have to sit together to see how the negative image of this game of chance will go away. And second, we should make sure that we don't have people overseas who are trying to do all kinds of things, attracting the Indian audience using, using any cryptocurrency and others which can't be tracked. So I think that those are very important things that we have to work out. Maybe there should be a registration process of people who come and operate. For example, in Singapore, there's a casino. The casino is built in Singapore. Locals are not allowed to go to the casino. Only people with a foreign passport are allowed to go to the casino. So like that, can we have a selection where people who want to go and play games can be registered so that there is knowledge about them, and these companies who want to do it openly in India are registered, and people who are registered outside India and all over the country, all outside the country who are not within our regulatory reach are not allowed to do business in India, and the websites can be blacked or something because they can become a leakage in the conduit for many illegal things. Pakistan and terrorists can also use it. That's what people tell us. And I think it's very important to now work out a solution like this.
Right, Mr. Pai. But the industry is of the opinion that this bill will lead to crippling impact on the sector. Over 300 companies could be forced to shut shop, besides, of course, impacting FDI flow into the sector. So how does that really serve the larger purpose of capitalize on gaming if people will lose jobs?
Well, if people are doing something which is deemed illegal or was deemed not right for society and they're in the business, they have to die. That's the natural way of things. They have no right to exist if the law changes, right? The positive impact on society is more important than any of them getting FDI or anything like that. The FDI that comes in is a very small amount of FDI. If all of them shut shop, it's not going to make a big impact on India. But what impact will India is, to me, the more important thing is gaming companies are really high-tech companies. See, to me, gaming companies are high-tech companies because when you have gaming technology, you build technology for scale, you build technology to connect thousands of players, do thousands and millions of transactions, and maybe you have very rich video, and they are people who can push technology in a very big way, which we need, because that helps build up the skills in many multiple areas. And to me, that is important. For large multinational games that like you have all the big games that people play and all that, the pure entertainment, we can have a subscription model and all. To me, that is important. And that has to be preserved within the country. Last time when they banned all this, many of the people went to Dubai and created a great gaming industry. They're laughing all the way to the bank because they're doing it from Dubai. They're doing all kind of offshore things and all kind of stuff. And somebody else is benefiting. To me, this is the important part which India needs to preserve. India needs to look at. But we have to work out a revenue model, which means that people don't gamble, people don't lose money, people are not cheated. And it doesn't become a conduit for illegal things.
Absolutely, sir. Government sources indicate that perhaps these companies will have to look at alternative models, given that, of course, this bill has been passed now by Rajya Sabha, and of course, the harms that come in the way of people who have been using these RMG games. There is a clear regulation on that. But let me also bring in the point of opposition leaders like Shashi Tharoor, who've stated that regulating these games would drive crores of players into the hands of illegal matka networks. Do you agree with his argument that he's made with respect to RMG? And shouldn't companies, sir, be looking at this aspect of harm that's been caused due to their business model, due to these real money games, and not just profits?
Well, every industry will say this will go underground, that will go underground, natural. Now, I think Shashi should sit down with industry and work out what are the things that industry requires in particular, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with great detail, which they can go to government and present, and maybe government will accept that with some kind of limitations. Now, can you have a game of skill where you gamble 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees? No. That's a no-no, right? So you can have some natural limitation. Shashi has to sit down because, you see, the problem I see is everybody is making grandiose statements. Everybody is making big sweeping statements. Oh, he'll go to matka players, he'll go there. It's like illegal badla. Remember, in the stock market, there was something called badla. Badla was all illegal. Then came online trading. All the badla thing went away. Then came stock financing, margin financing. It all became legal, right? So you can do something like that. But they have to get into details. What is possible, what is not possible, sit down with the regulator and work it out. It's going to take time because there is a fear on society.
That's right, sir. Now that you say that, implementation is something that the government will now have to look at, even as the government's proposed blanket ban on real money gaming has come about. The Rajya Sabha, like I stated, has, of course, cleared the bill. It's waiting President's assent on that. We'll have to see how the dynamics within the gaming industry will emerge and will shape up, the kind of boost that esports and online social games will be given by the government, the kind of investor interest that these segments are going to get. All of that will be closely watched by us. But thanks for the moment for joining us here on ET Now and sharing your analysis of this big story that we're tracking here on the channel, sir.